I was absolutely over the moon when I saw this pattern. Hello everybody, June here, and I have a great pattern for you today. It is a January 2025 pattern of the month for Cashmerette Club, and I do want to say that I am a Cashmerette collaborator, and I did receive this pattern free in exchange for pictures, and I received 1 year free of the top tier Cashmerette club membership. However, they didn't actually tell me to say anything. In fact, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to write a review. I didn't have to even talk about it. So everything that I am going to say is my opinion and my opinion alone. It is actually a jean jacket, which I am wearing. And if you've been around this channel for a while, you'll know that I have made 2 jean jackets previously. They were a different pattern, and one of them I did embroider on the back. So I love making these jean jackets. They do take a lot of time. And I remember thinking when I made that other pattern twice that I really wish a Cashmerette would come up with a variable, or not variable, but like a multi-cup size version of a jean jacket, because even though I really like those other jackets that I made, they like the bust size was just a standard B cup, and there was a sort of a hack to get around a full bust, but it wasn't actually, like, it wasn't the greatest thing, right? So when Cashmerette approached me for this partnership, and they told me that one of the patterns was a denim jacket, I was like, sign me up. I have made quite a few Cashmerette patterns recently, very recently, and I haven't actually posted them all because I am super behind on video, but I have made a lot, and I am at a point in my sewing life where if a pattern doesn't come with like multiple cup sizes, I'm just not interested. I don't want to have to make an FBA myself. So I was absolutely over the moon when I saw this pattern. And the best part is that it is like a regular, like there's no detail that was overlooked when it comes to like off the rack jean jackets that you can buy. So it's not a pared down version. It is exactly what you would find. And I made the size 16 with no changes except to shorten the sleeve 2 inches. I am very short. I have short arms, so I have to do that all the time. And technically, my measurements put me, I guess, between a 16 and an 18 at the bust, and about an 18 to a 20 on the waist. But based on the final garment measurements, I decided to just make a straight size 16, and it fits so well. I was worried that it would be a little bit wide on the shoulder because I sometimes have that problem, but it's not. Overall, I have nothing but nice things to say about this pattern. It comes together really nicely. The instructions are good. There are 2 things I did differently from the pattern. One was because I was running low on time. The fabric took a really long time to get here, and so I was up on a tight deadline. And the pattern does come with welt pockets, and making the welt pockets would have taken me easily half a day. And so I really agonized about whether I wanted to take the time to make the welt pockets or not make the welt pockets, and in the end I decided not to make them. But this is actually based on jean jackets that exist. So I spent a long time, probably almost as long as it would have taken me to make the welt pockets, looking at pictures of jean jackets online. And some of them, especially vintage ones, did not have pockets. So I sort of felt little bit vindicated in my decision to not make the side pockets. And the second thing has to do with the front band. And I am going to insert a close-up so you can see better. But the instructions have you sew a line of top stitching on one end of the band, and then another one 1/4 of an inch in. I was doing some math and I was playing around with buttons, which, by the way, my buttons are like regular size jean buttons. And I realized that if I sewed 2 lines of stitching there, of top stitching, there was absolutely no way my buttonholes would fit. So if you're using normal size jean buttons, you will not be able to get the buttonhole in there if you sew 2 rows of stitching. And again, I agonized over this because I wanted to follow instructions, but I also needed to be able to put my buttonholes in. So again, I went back and I looked at a bunch of jean jackets, and actually none of them have 2 lines of stitching there. They only have 1 line of stitching. So I just did 1 line of stitching, and then I went back and looked at my other 2 jean jackets that I've made, and the instructions for that also say to just make 1 row of stitching. So that is what I did. And this was, I mean, if you never made a jean jacket, it's a lot of work. This time I didn't actually time how many hours it took, but it was 2.5 days of solid work. Like I was working the entire day, breakfast, take a work, take a lunch break, go back again until about 5:30 or 6. So it's a long time. But I also sanded all of my seams. You can see they're slightly lighter than the rest of the jacket, and that is because, and I said this in my previous jean jacket video, it's because I wanted it to look as much as a ready-to-wear jacket as I possibly could. And so now that it's finished, I am very much in love with how it looks. I love the sleeve length. I think it's perfect. And I love that the cuffs are snug enough to sort of bring the sleeve in, but there's also, as you can see, a lot of room for my watch. A lot of times things that have cuffs sort of get caught on my watch, and this doesn't. And it is a great fit. So there's 2 options for the biceps for the jacket. There's the normal, but well, not normal, but like the standard bicep, and then there's the full bicep. And again, I deliberated whether to make the full bicep or not. In the end, again, based on finished garment measurements, I went with the standard one, and it's fine. I have complete range of motion. Like there's nothing restricting anything, and I can wear this with stuff underneath. Maybe not a heavy sweater, but definitely long sleeves. Like this dresses that I'm wearing is ponte, and probably a little thicker too. The fit is supposed to be slightly relaxed. I think it's not supposed to be a fitted one, which my previous ones were supposed to be slightly more fitted. And so, yeah, I love this jacket. And if I find white denim, I would probably make another one in white because I've been wanting one in white. As for the fabric, this is a 10-ounce denim. And when it first arrived, I thought it was a little bit on the light side. Again, my last jean jacket is a 12-ounce denim, and so I thought it was a little bit flimsy, but actually once the jacket comes together, it is a great weight. I had a much easier time sewing it than I did with the previous one. I think probably because of the weight. There are parts, especially here in the pockets on the breast, that there's something like 9 layers of denim, and obviously thicker denim, your machine has a more difficult time going through it, but this time it would just breeze right through. There are a couple of things I want to say about making jean jackets, because even though you're also working with denim like you would with jeans you don't see the inside. So one thing I've learned from making 3 jean jackets is that you should match your bobbin thread color to your top stitching thread. I've looked inside the first jean jacket that I made, which is in a very light wash, and I used white for the bobbin, and then I used like normal orange for the top stitching, and I do not like what it looks like inside. But with this one, you can see, well, you can't see from this distance, but if you look at the jacket closely, the inside is also orange. My seams are serged in white, and I probably should have done light blue, but I don't regret it. And for the actual seams for putting the garment together, I used a light blue thread that sort of blends in with the inside of the jacket. And the inside looks very nice. The outside looks very nice. One thing that this pattern doesn't give you instructions for is flat fell seams, which a lot of jean jackets do have. So if that is something that you want to do, you're going to have to probably look for instructions elsewhere. So my takeaways here for this pattern are: go by the finished garment measurements, and don't do the 2 rows of stitching on the button placket. And there actually isn't a separate placket, it's just one placket folded in. So it doesn't actually create a lot of bulk on the button band for you to then sew the buttonholes, which can be a problem. Another sort of like small thing, but something to think about, I found that the interfacing piece for the fronts were actually too wide, especially the one for the yoke. And when I folded it in, some of it showed. So what I did was peel back a little bit and cut it off, and so it's all hidden. But again, something to think about. And that was a bit rambly, but that is the pattern, and I really like it. I think having a correct cup size makes a big difference in the fit. I like that it is a relaxed fit without being super oversized, which some jean jackets can be. And it's not cropped, but for me it's the right length. And I didn't do any changes to the body. So if you like them a little longer, maybe think about that. If you're taller, you may want to add a little bit. But for me, the proportions I think work really well. And that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.